Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Happy Independence Day,
Happy 4th
everybody.
of July, everyone.
Welcome. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Nick.
And we are the Gosslings.
We're the hybrid Gosslings.
We are the hybrid Goslings today.
Special episode.
We are divulging into our sweet tooth.
Yes, we got a little sweet tooth
fascination.
Today. Yep.
It is also 4th of July.
Yep.
So happy Independence Day. Ungrateful Colonials unite. Along with any blurry creatures that might be out there watching at the moment.
Happy 4th to you, D.
Yeah. Hey, D, what's up?
D. Burl. Thank you for watching across the pond.
So this is our weekly live stream that we do every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, even on our nation's birthday.
Yes.
Happy Independence Day to all the fellow Americans out there. Sorry.
I do what I want. I'm American.
Yeah.
I got the freedom to live stream whenever you know what I want to.
That's right. I can do it with a pig nose and antlers, and I can eat candy. You know.
Yep.
No one except our benevolent overlords can tell me otherwise.
That's right.
You know,
we are probably going to lose subscribers from this episode.
That's fine.
I'm just going to tell you all right now.
Well, I have 46, so that's all right.
Yeah. Well, I hope there's going to be some people that don't appreciate what we have to say, but we're going to say it anyway. By God, because this is the 4th of July.
That's right. It's America, baby. Yep.
4th of the by God July is what it is.
That's right. So per special request, we are going to be drinking Legend today.
Legend, yes, for our
bourbon.
toast.
And one truly unique bourbon. I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm excited about this. We talked about this last week. This is a gift from Delta, I believe, right?
That's right.
I don't know if Delta's watching it. He's probably doing
doing something infinitely more entertaining.
Yeah, he's probably doing stuff like with family.
Yeah, we're taking a nap.
Which is good.
As is his God-given right.
But if he goes back to watch this, I hope he realizes how much we appreciate the gift of, what is it called?
Legend.
I
have no idea why. I probably should have read the bottle, but I'm lazy. So
let's go ahead and give this a smell.
Yeah. Wait. If I position this just right.
Wonderful.
Well,
smells like rotten cabbage and farm waste.
What's that?
From an oak barrel.
Smells like oak barrel bog water. What's that phrase? Every hog finds a nut, or every hog finds a truffle. That's what it is.
Truffle,
yeah.
I wonder how it pairs with sweet tarts.
See, this is great because if you position the pig nose just right and there's suction, then whenever you suck in,
oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, more things change, more they stay the same.
Yeah, we are a couple of American capitalisten Schweins.
That's right. Yep. So you want to go ahead and do the toast?
And we're horny. Yes,
we are.
I had to say it.
Yeah,
dad joke. Dad joke.
So take up your glass, whatever you're drinking, whether it's Earl Grey tea, bourbon. Actually, for the 4th, I don't know. D and Adam, you guys might have to actually bust out alcohol. For this.
I don't know if you should drink tea on the 4th of July.
I mean, us Americans and how we treat tea. Might be safe over there across the pond. I don't really know. Hopefully,
it's okay. They can drink what they want, but we're not drinking tea.
I did have coffee earlier in true
good
American fashion.
Good.
So,
good.
Anyways, we'll do our mantra here, and one of us says the first half, very liturgical, and then everybody else says the second half. If you've been watching, you know the drill. So I think it's your turn.
Okay.
Yep.
Take up the broken sword of your father
and strike down the darkness.
Cheers. I want to try to do it with the nose.
Oh yeah, that's.
And we're live streaming to Instagram as well. So you can be watching on Facebook on our Facebook page.
Yeah, this is new.
Heavenly Realms YouTube channel. Also over here on I'm live streaming to at Nick Goss Writes as well. So to my Instagram friends. If you're watching, we are a writers group. We're going kind of off script today, talking about some crazy things.
Yep.
And celebrating the 4th of July. It's a hybrid episode.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid episode. Very meta.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
You
We
can't get
crazy.
more meta than talking about patriotism and sweet tooth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, D's drinking Dr. Pepper. Dude, that'll work.
Dr. Pepper's good.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 28. Is it 28 flavors in Dr. Pepper? It's a good American.
It's a good
beverage.
American drink. And I hear people say like, oh, I don't like Dr. Pepper. It tastes like cough syrup. First of all, no, it doesn't. And second of all, I've had some really good cough syrup.
I was going to say, and cough syrup is amazing.
I've had some really good
cough syrup. It's like carbonated cough syrup. That's fantastic.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, what's your problem? There are so many people here in the States drinking Dr. Pepper, leaning over their grills right now, cooking hot dogs and ribs and everything else. Oh, yeah. Probably my friend Jim Powell loves Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Yeah, loves that down in Florida. They're actually in the middle of a hurricane right now. Hurricane Elsa. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope they're okay. I don't know what's going on. That's
appropriate.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, though, because they're, it's 4th of July. People want to shoot fireworks off.
Isn't Elsa the Frozen?
Yeah, chick? She's she's the main character of Frozen. She's the, she's got the ice powers.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's
my
appropriate.
Daughter loves I know.
So close to Disney and.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Disney World was wiped out by a hurricane named Elsa? That's what happens when you start getting into all this, should I say it?
Yeah.
Women empowerment stuff, which is great. Hey, good for you. But I'm saying balance it out a little bit, when you start, Elsa was kind of the first of that movie genre. And the irony would be.
Yeah, you're so tasty.
Yeah, that would be so good.
It's so good to my little piggy brain, Yeah, well, I mean, and they say there's no God. Like the irony of like Disney being wiped out by Hurricane Elsa is just that's the stuff of the universe. That's the spice of the universe, the spice melange of the universe for all you Dune fans out there.
I really missed an opportunity for a great joke when we were talking about tea and coffee. They're comparing tea and coffee, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. Otherwise, I won't be able to think of anything else.
Okay, yeah.
So let me get it out of my head. You were saying, we were talking about tea and coffee, and you had coffee, and I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. I like my caffeinated beverages like I like my women. Imported from Costa Rica, ground up and stored in the freezer.
Yeah.
I figured that was appropriate. Apropos. It's America. I can say what I want.
I'm all for that anyways, because our favorite Mexican restaurant is apparently closed for Independence Day.
They closed today. Our Mexican restaurant's closed today.
Yeah, so I think it's really funny that they'll be open for Cinco de Mayo.
I'm gonna have to cook something.
Their national holiday.
Yeah.
Except,
they're open for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, their holiday from their country. But when it comes to our country and our holiday, in our country they close down.
It's paid vacation in this country.
Yeah,
it's coming over here taking advantage of our benefits.
Yeah.
Benefits.
Taking our job.
This might be our last episode.
No. Nick is so worried that anything he says will tank the episode.
Yeah.
Believe me, if Nick ever took the leash off me, I would have this episode shut down midstream. And I know better.
Well, we want to sell books, and
we put way too much money into this to perform a torch and burn up on the whole thing.
For sure. For sure.
So I guarantee you, there's nothing that Nick can say that,
Yeah, we generally do this little thing before we're about to say something questionable, we look at each other.
Yeah.
Kind of like, is this okay? Can I do this?
We need
don't
hand
do it.
signals,
what the heck? Go
baseball,
ahead and
do it.
Yeah.
It's some sort of little, See, this pig nose is really fun. Yeah. I might be tempted to wear this.
Smells like Party City.
Yep. Yeah, it smells like Epcot gift shop.
Yeah.
The best part of Star Tours, by the way, was the Epcot gift.
Oh, 100%. So. Yeah, the gifts and they're they're all over now, all over Disney. The gift shop.
Oh yeah,
because of all the new Star Wars stuff they have.
Yep,
Galaxy's Edge and all that. Oh, it's fantastic.
I could see that.
Gift shops are awesome.
Well, speaking of Dr. Pepper and D, want to go ahead and welcome Adam and D.
Yes, welcome Adam and D.
Adam and D Burl, our friends and fellow Goslings across the pond. Adam is our narrator for our audiobooks, which you can intuit by his Instagram handle.
Yes.
Adam narrates. He also has his own YouTube channel, which is really good.
Yep.
I'll post the link for that below. Or if you're watching this during the middle of the thing and you want to go back and look at it, just look at any of the previous episodes and all the links are there. I usually am not able to post the links and do all the back end post-production stuff until the night of or the day after. Yeah. So if you're interested in reaching out to them at some point, then if you can't reach them through Instagram through that, just go back and look at the previous episodes, and all those links are in the bottom of the description. Yeah. And then Dee does all of our resin products, such as bookmarks and coasters, these cool hippie trippy coasters. She does like some awesome trinket boxes. Yep. She did a tea tray. Yep. She does a bunch of cool stuff.
Yep. At resinby_dreamer. If you want to check out her work, fantastic.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that she keeps doing and posting keeps on getting more and more like involved.
Yeah.
You notice that? It gets more intricate. It's really awesome.
Yeah. It's getting more complex as it goes along. It's pretty cool. So they're great. They're a married couple, a couple little entrepreneurs. We adore them. They're very sweet to us and very generous, and we enjoy having them on the live stream. Their input is always. It doesn't feel like a Goslings live stream without the Burls.
It's not.
So it's not. It's really not. In fact, I'm a little bummed out that Adam hasn't commented yet. I actually held off on this for like a couple extra minutes. Yeah. Thinking like, okay, where's Adam? Where's Adam?
He might be working, but I hope he's watching.
He might be. Whatever. Adam, you know what time you're supposed to be. The bread will still be there tomorrow, but no, I'm just kidding. No, they're awesome. Okay, you want to move on?
Let's jump in, man.
All right, so
let's jump in.
We did a week's worth of research just for this.
Yep.
We dove deep because we think this is very prescient, very relevant.
Yeah.
And Nick even went so far as to buy props.
You can tell we're like trying to take a lighthearted approach to all this.
Yeah.
But as you can see, we are hybrids.
Yes.
And this is something that's coming to the forefront of conversation, especially fringe conversation.
Yep.
As it goes, we typically see things appear in media and entertainment that. Did you see that? Did my nose just move? I tried to inhale.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah. That's crazy how it does that.
His glasses are fogging up too. It's really funny. Nick's a real trooper, even in ways you may not realize.
But basically, it's like all the stuff that you want to talk about and have honest questions about that might seem a little fringe or conspiratorial. The left just throws into media and entertainment.
Yeah.
They just neuter it. They neuter it and say, this belongs in the world of entertainment.
Yeah.
So we're going to create this, what do you call it? Zeitgeist? Or we're going to create this.
That would be a good word for it.
Compartmentalize all things hybrid, aliens, whatever, cryptids. And that's just all make-believe stuff. We're going to make movies out of it. And you're crazy if you talk about it in the public sphere. But we know for a fact that there's some serious research going on into this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's sort of like in 2010 when Contagion came out, and then 10 years later, like COVID hit, and it basically, they at least build it as being the same as Contagion.
Yeah.
Like it was already embedded in the zeitgeist. So now that Sweet Tooth is out, which is, there's so much in Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, there is.
Like, it's just teeming with messages, everything, and metaphors.
Oh my gosh, it's dripping with all things COVID and of course all things hybrid. I'm going to scoot my horns up here.
Yeah,
they're getting a little low. I like to. Let me see. Is
that good? He likes to keep his horns high.
I do. I'm not a low rider.
Antlers up.
There we go. It's kind of wonky. Oh, there we go. Now they're down again. Never mind.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
It's that Irish head of yours.
Let's see. It is. Let's see what we got here. We got a chat. Oh, Adam's working. Adam's working. Oh, no. That's okay. That's okay. Well. We'll have to soldier on with Adam.
I'm glad we got D.
Let's just do a quick recap of Sweet Tooth. Let's start with Sweet Tooth first and talk about the Netflix series.
Yep.
Talk about the premise and the main character.
Okay. The premise of Sweet Tooth is there is a virus that is apocalyptic. It's a Netflix show, and it's about a virus that wipes out the overwhelming majority of humanity. Very apocalyptic, Is
it airborne?
I think it spreads. Yeah, you got to wear a mask. You got to, anytime they think someone's infected, they wrap them in saran wrap and torch the place. And we, by the way, Nick and I have seen the whole season.
Yeah. We
so watched the whole thing. if you're planning on watching it and you don't want spoilers, then you're in dangerous waters.
Yeah. We're going to talk about.
because we're not gonna, whatever. There's too much to talk about while still trying to navigate around, not spoiling anything.
Yep.
So, but really, the premise is the thing that's worth talking about more than like the story, and the propaganda behind it, and the very satanic, like Luciferian, anti-human message.
Yeah, I would say that the
it.
story and the characters are probably the least interesting part of the entire series.
It takes a total backseat to the premise, because the virus, this unknown virus wipes out the majority of humanity. It's airborne. It destroys society and civilization. So now we're in like a Walking Dead kind of scenario, post-apocalypse. But at the same time, every baby that starts being born is a hybrid baby, a human-animal hybrid. And the overall premise.
Oh, and they're so cute.
Oh, they are. They're adorable. Yeah. And the overall premise is that Mother Nature has, hit the reset switch and is course correcting from being destroyed by humanity and our pollution. Yep. So it's got a climate change message. It's got a global warming message.
Yep.
It's a cautionary tale, against
humanity has destroyed the earth. So nature is fighting back by creating this virus.
Yeah.
Nature creates the virus.
Kind of like it kind of is like The Happening.
Yeah, kind of like The Happening.
Except like more interesting and even less stupid, not by much.
I actually watched that this week.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So how would you compare The Happening to...
Well, Sweet Tooth was more interesting. It was more fun to watch.
Probably more fun to watch at least. Yeah.
I did, I was hoping it'd be something more interesting than the trees. The plants.
It's the trees. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Marky Mark, Funky Bunch Wahlberg running around.
I actually like him though. I like Mark Wahlberg. I think he's cool. He's funny. He's a good actor. He needs to stick to more like lighthearted comedy.
He needs to stick to the other guys.
Yeah,
the movie with him and Will Ferrell.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good movie. That's a good Funky Bunch movie if you're looking for entertainment. So yeah, that's kind of the whole premise. And then
nature hates us.
Yeah,
nature hates us.
Mother Nature.
Yeah,
Mother Nature.
Yeah,
right.
Which is the opposite of the message that we get through Judeo-Christianity, because the message is nature was created to be the domain of man. It was created for humanity.
Right. Yeah.
God created humanity. God created a place for humanity to live. Nature serves man.
Yeah.
Nature serves man. And the premise of this show is that man is just another creature.
Yep.
Evolving in nature. Nature is God. And nature decides that she's had enough of man poisoning her. So she creates this virus.
Yeah.
And of course, the correlation between the virus and Sweet Tooth and the coronavirus is.
Yeah. It's a
little gratuitous.
Yeah.
It's a little overdone. We get it.
Yeah.
Put your mask on.
It is a little heavy-handed.
Like they're scolding the white guys vaping. Like, you gotta put your mask on.
Yeah.
And they're giving them a hard time in one of the episodes. I'm like, come on. They had the whole mask debate in the series.
Yep.
I'm like, look, we just went through 2 years of these grueling, off-putting conversations about mask versus no mask, vaccine versus no vaccine. People are tired of that crap, and then you bring out Sweet Tooth and
thrown in our faces.
Yeah, and you just
don't forget, because the Delta variant's on the way.
Oh my gosh, the Delta variant.
Yeah, the Delta variant with the rapid response surge teams go knocking at your door to remind you, you better take your vaccination, or we're going to haul you off to the gulag.
Interesting fact, the temperature at which viruses burn is probably Fahrenheit 451.
Probably.
We're headed there.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to finding out. Well, and so the kernel of the story follows. It's such brilliant propaganda. It's a cute little boy, little deer boy, raised in the woods by his dad.
His name is Gus. Yep. What a cute name.
A cute little name. And he's so sweet, and he's adorable, and he goes on this sort of Huck Finn kind of adventure, you know, and he's got his collection of friends that he gathers along the way.
Friends come along, story structure, follows the story structure.
And he's trying to find his mom, you know, and you find out like who his mom was and what she did and what the deal was with his dad who raised him, and you know, and the virus itself, you find out towards the end, was pulled from a core sample in Alaska.
Yes.
So it was something that they were trying to find cures for diseases with. Humanity, civilization, and then, you know,
and then there was an accident at a lab,
right?
And that's how the virus gets out.
Yeah.
More about that later.
Yeah. North Korea, Colorado, you know, potato, you know, and so it's just, but the interesting thing about it is, I mean, it is well made, it is entertaining, but the propaganda is massive in Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the driving messages of the story is humanity bad, hybrids good.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Like, there's such a Luciferian self-loathing.
Yes, there is.
In Sweet Tooth.
And if you notice in the first half or more, the first half of the season, they're talking about hybrids that, you know, the nature creates the virus to wipe out humanity and kind of do a reset. And at the same time, nature creates these hybrids that are immune to the virus.
Yeah, they're immune.
They're the kind of the next evolution of beings to have dominion over the world.
Yeah.
In the second half, you realize that the very first hybrid, Gus, the main character, he's the first hybrid. Now, he was created in a lab.
Yeah.
He was created in a lab.
Before the virus broke out.
Yep.
And may also, I think they kind of tangentially hint that he may have created the virus, or the virus may have been an offshoot of what they were doing.
Maybe.
With him. You know, I
think
there's a tie that they're hinting at between Gus and the virus itself, you know, and you're basically reminded at every turn that, like, humanity's time is over.
Yeah.
It's time for us to hang it up. We're bad. We're evil. The only good ones are the ones who are helping the hybrids, and all the ones who are trying to preserve civilization, preserve humanity. You know, they're all the bad guys.
Yeah. And they're trying to find a cure. And the bad guys are trying to save humanity and trying to find a cure. What do you think the cure is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Adrenochrome.
Yeah. Basically, it's adrenochrome. Yeah. They have to extract some sort of hormone from the pineal gland. Yeah. Of a living hybrid child. All the hybrids are child.
And all children. The hybrids are cute and sweet and innocent. There are no little asshole hybrids. You know,
no, they're not.
They're no little like bratty, evil, like thieving, malicious little, you know, goblin hybrids.
Yeah, because there's of course. Well, I can't for the show. Yeah. But there's an assumption that if that were a scientific possibility, there's an assumption that the hybrid will have the best qualities of both component of both human and animal. So they're the adorable, sweet children, right? That's typically where we see the best of humanity is in children before we just, you know, pollute the snot out of them. And then in the animals, the best qualities they can, you know, their enhanced abilities to see, smell, run fast, hear, whatever, fly, you know, so they're assuming that science assumes that if we create hybrids, we'll be able to genetically modify humans to exhibit the best of both. And that's what my one-off's about. I don't think that's the case at all.
Well, no. And there's a real strong case, like the South Park guys make this case that, like, children are not perfect and sweet and innocent. Children are rotten little monsters.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies little monsters.
If not nurtured.
And it's parents' jobs to teach them to be good, to civilize them.
Yeah.
And
Mowgli from the Jungle Book, it's a myth. No.
Right.
He would have been
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, it would have been Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies, Mowgli.
Yeah. And so, like, the whole story of the whole, like, premise of Sweet Tooth is turning that on its head and saying, no, if humans would just stay out of it, if adults would just stay out of it, because all the adults are bad, or they're, you know, or they used to be bad, or they're ineffectual, you know, or, you know, they're corrupt somehow.
and the children. It's all about the children. Think about the children.
It's about the hybrid children.
It's about the hybrid children.
Yeah, it's about the hybrid children. The bad guys are trying to harvest the hybrid children. And you're rooting for the hybrid children because they're so darn cute.
All right. Inoffensive, adorable.
Yeah.
Affable, sweet.
Here's the question I have for you. Why did Netflix make this series? Why this? Because it was based on a comic book. But there are a lot of things based on a comic book. Why this?
Right.
Why hybrids? Why now?
Yeah. I think word has gotten out about CRISPR technologies.
I
think a lot of what Netflix does, especially the high profile stuff, like if you look at Cuties, it's their attempt, because Netflix, especially during lockdown when you couldn't go anywhere, so like Netflix and Hulu, their stocks skyrocketed.
Yeah.
No one was going out, no one was going to the movies.
Ain't no one canceling Netflix during lockdown.
Right, everybody's re-upping on their Netflix subscriptions. So Netflix becomes the new Mockingbird Media. Netflix becomes the new network television. The new CNN, arguably the new Fox News even. And so they have to get ahead of these things and brainwash people with propaganda so that people are under some sort of great delusion. So that's like right before Cuties got made, there were some pretty intense laws passed in California regarding pedophiles. Pedophilia laws.
Interesting.
And people have been talking about Comet Ping Pong and Pizzagate for a while. And that was the whole Q thing, is it's about saving the children, and there are all these satanic cults which do exist. Like I know people who are in those, like they're real. And as children. And all that stuff really does happen. So they had to get ahead of it in order to make you, to soften the edge and make you be okay with it. And I think they're doing the same thing.
Well, I have to make you think that's just it's all compartmentalized to the realm of entertainment.
Yeah, it's all just fun. It's no different than Star Wars. It's all make believe. It's all fun.
If we're about to be invaded by aliens, Netflix will create a documentary. And not documentary. They'll create a
TV show,
a TV series. They'll basically make V. They'll do a V remake,
right? Except the aliens, it'll be more like The Day the Earth Stood Still, where the aliens are the good guys.
Yeah, of course,
here to save us from ourselves. Unless
alien intervention is the only thing that's going to be able to save us.
Yeah, and it probably will be. It probably will be both. There'll probably be a little bit of Independence Day mixed with there are some good aliens too. Stargate did that. Stargate was the TV show.
I'm glad Independence Day didn't do that. I love Independence Day because the aliens are bad dudes.
Yeah.
They're just bad all around. There's no good alien.
And we're blowing them up.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I watched it a couple days ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had to pre-vet it. I had to wait for I made a note of all the things that my kids I don't think they should watch yet.
Yeah.
So we can skip those parts. Little timestamps and making timestamps. So we can skip past those things. But other than, maybe 2 or 3 scenes, I think they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You should get one of our new t-shirts.
Oh, yeah. Check this out.
Whenever. So we designed this t-shirt and I ordered it. And it came in, yesterday?
Yep.
So this is a new Gosslings t-shirt. Let me see if I can angle it there. It says all aliens are just demons.
Yep.
And it's got our logo on it. And if you can kind of see, it's an alien head with a crosshair.
Yeah, it's a reticle. That's a reticle.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's probably MOA.
Fire. Biden's going to take our guns first, and then that's when the aliens show up, of course.
That's right. Yeah. You can get that on Teespring, by the way. I'll post the link for it. But, dude, Teespring's website, quick aside, worst website I've been to in years. Like, trying to navigate that website.
It's awful. They're awful.
It's just, like, if you don't have the direct link to whatever it is, there's no search bar.
Yeah.
There's no way to just find the brand name you're looking for.
No.
So that's why I always post the link in the description, because if I didn't, honestly,
you'd never find it.
Yeah, you'd never be able to find it. And it's because Teespring is ridiculous. But yeah, getting back to hybrids and propaganda and agenda, I think there's something Luciferianism by its very nature, which is what controls everybody in positions of power, whether they're in entertainment or whether they're in politics or finance, they all ascribe to Luciferianism. And so Luciferianism inherently is driven by two things, self-desire or self-gratification and self-destruction.
Yep.
That's why the Faustian bargain, that's why, it's sell your soul, get this adrenochrome. You'll live forever. You'll never have to answer to God because you'll never die. But
please yourself. That is the extent of the law.
Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
Do as thou wilt shall be the whole.
Anton LaVey.
Yeah, Anton LaVey.
Yep. Satanism, through the Church of Satan, and that's real. And people like to talk about like, oh, it's just pageantry. It's just a bunch of people dressing up in costumes and having fun. It may be, but
Anton LaVey was doing what Netflix does. It's pageantry. So that people are like, oh, they're just
gaslighting.
Playing. Yeah, it's gaslighting. That's not real. It's pageantry. When the whole, when there are a lot of people that are following the Aleister Crowleys and the Jim Parsons. And Jack Parsons. And, they're really deep down that occultic path, doing those deep occultic things. And so as a shield, they have the Anton LaVeys.
Yeah, who are the clowns, just banging their little monkey cymbals, just being silly, and it's no big deal.
That's what Netflix is doing with the hybrids.
That's what they're doing with Sweet Tooth. That's the whole point. Sweet Tooth is, meant to reinforce the environmentalism propaganda, which I've known about for at least 30 years. I remember being like 8 years old and watching Nickelodeon, making us hate ourselves, making you, reduce your carbon footprint. Reduce your carbon footprint. Abortion is green. Don't have children, don't go anywhere, don't buy anything, don't eat anything. In fact, it's better probably if you just don't exist at all. It's better if you just give all of your money, to these, people that we've imported into the country, and then just kill yourself. Just die. That's what they ultimately want. Meanwhile, the Bezoses of the world and the Hillarys of the world and, all of these people, the Soroses of the world, continue to feast on adrenochrome, feast on children, live forever. The Tom Cruises. I mean, what do you think Tom Cruise looks the way he does? I don't
know. It's bizarre. It's abnormal.
Have you ever thought about, like, I remember shortly after Dad died, I wondered, like, how does someone like Dad, who didn't take care of himself, died relatively young, but he didn't live a really hard lifestyle.
No.
How does that happen to him? But yet someone like Keith Richards, can snort and inject and smoke everything under the sun. And drink everything under the sun.
And grind into his, 80s?
Yeah, grind into his. It's not a genetics issue. At a certain point, it can't be. And, people used to like make that joke about, or that there was that urban legend about Keith Richards, how he would get blood transfusions. And people used to say, oh, that's ridiculous.
Dude,
you can't.
That's a real thing.
It is real. And not only is it real, but there was that news story about it where the scientists stitched the young mouse to the old mouse, and they stitched up their circulatory systems. And the old mouse's immune system and cognitive ability increased, draining vampirically off of the young mouse. And the young mouse eventually withered to death.
Ew, creepy.
I mean, and you can look that up. That's not esoterica. That's pretty easy to find. It's just some little news segment on some morning show, with a couple of chick reporters, talking about how cool it is,
So
there it is. Yeah.
So if you were to scrub all of the wokeism out of Sweet Tooth, and just go with the premise, because there's a lot of woke messaging. It's very frustrating. But if you could just go with the premise, how prescient is it? Scale of 1 to 10.
12. I mean, yeah. Well, because there are a couple things going on. Like, first of all, in the comic book, the football guy, they did some switcheroo on that guy. For the woke crowd.
Jep.
Yeah, Jep. Yeah. Jep looks a little different in the comic book, so you should probably ask yourself, why is this particular demographic not represented in any positive light in this show?
Yep.
That's something you want to look up.
Yep.
And then the other thing is, the bad guy, quote unquote, is
General Abbott.
Abbott.
Yep.
And, toxic white male, in charge, surrounded by idiots, and he's trying to find a cure. Now he's trying to find a cure so that he can control who gets the cure so that he can be in power.
Right.
But Nick and I were talking about this earlier. There's a real metaphor going on, an analog for the Homo sapiens rise and defeat of the Neanderthal. If you ascribe to the evolutionary theory,
it's a really good observation.
I remember watching it and thinking, like, this is probably in a much higher order form exactly what the Neanderthals were going through when the Homo sapiens were beaten, because the Homo sapiens were evolved beyond them, and the Neanderthals were having an existential crisis, and they probably were trying to fight for their survival, but they were probably the bad guys to us, just like we are the bad guys to the hybrids, because it's a power thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I will say, as a Genesis 6 believer, as a Grigori Nephilim believer, I don't think, and this is for you blurry creatures, because I think Bigfoot ties into this, but I don't think Neanderthals were really necessarily Neanderthals. I don't believe in the scientific or the evolutionary method or the evolutionary theory that's in play. I think those were either Nephilim or Nephilim creations, hybrids.
Maybe.
As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the
talk about that.
Coming of the Son of Man.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Yeah.
And I think that there is a great deception that's been going on for a lot of that stuff. And I think that's one of them, and what you have to ask yourself is, okay, as a human, what do you want? Do you want to go back to society, or do you want to go quietly into the night?
Yep.
Yep. And it just,
Quick side trail. You mentioned Blurry Creatures. I'm going to give them a shout out right now. They're not paying us to do this. I just am in love with their podcast. It is fantastic.
They're awesome. Yeah.
I actually signed up for a membership so I can watch the listen to the members only episodes.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Shout out to Blurry Creatures.
Blurry Creatures, fantastic. They're just looking for answers. Yeah. They're just trying to figure out all this stuff, and they do lean more towards the Genesis 6
Christian esoterica.
Yeah, narrative. They just want to talk about all these things that churches and Christians they're afraid to talk about. They don't want to touch because of the blowback from their congregations or from society in general. But they want answers about these things. It's supernatural stuff going on
that's relevant to today.
It's totally relevant to today. Cryptids is totally relevant to today. Hybrids is relevant to today. Yeah. What in the world is going on? This is an age in all of recorded history. We've never seen anything like what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Or have we?
And
maybe
I believe there's nothing new under the sun.
I see. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. Well, where, Nick and Jonathan, have you seen anything like this in history up until this point?
Yeah.
As it was in the days of Noah.
So shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man.
Yep. Absolutely. So Blurry Creatures, shout out. You got to check out their podcast. You can find them on pretty much any podcast platform.
Yeah.
So check them out.
Yeah.
So,
well, and people say, like, okay, how do human hybrids play into Genesis 6? Okay. So, we'll roll out the carpet on that one. Angels fall to earth, lusting after women. They abandon their state in the heavenlies, and they take on human form. They set themselves up as kings.
Yep.
They take wives. They have children. These children become known as the Nephilim, the giants, the tyrants of
the mighty men of renown.
Yeah, mighty men of renown. And there is a line in there that talks about how the people of the day sinned against the animals. And no one really knows what that means. It could mean bestiality, but there's also
could mean chimeras.
There's also the theory that it means chimeras, hybrids.
Yep.
And
you're like, how can an ancient culture have that technology?
Yeah, Atlantis.
Go to Peru.
Yeah, it's embedded. Go to the Giza necropolis.
Yeah, look at the megaliths of the Giza necropolis, the pyramids, which I believe were pre-flood personally, and look at the megaliths of the pre-Inca megaliths in Peru.
Yeah,
massive stone blocks dug from quarries, taken up mountains.
Yeah.
And laid with with laser precision, these massive stones are cut, and there's less than 1/100th of an inch space between them throughout.
Yeah, they say the same thing about the Giza necropolis, that you could not replicate the intricacy and precision of scale of the Giza necropolis today. And even if
no way
those were created, what definitely predates everything we know is the Sphinx, because the Sphinx,
oldest thing we know of. Yeah,
it is the oldest thing we know of, and the reason why we know that, like Graham Hancock's fingerprints of the gods.
This is really hard to drink. It's nose, by the way. The last little sip.
Yeah,
I'm really struggling. Hold on.
You should see if you can get it. You should see if you can get it through the nose. That's what we call a snootful. You know.
Let's do it like this.
So
Serrano style.
So Graham Hancock lays out in Fingerprints of the Gods that the Giza necropolis not only does it align with Orion's belt, which throws off a lot of celestial theories about the planet, but it also, the Sphinx has water erosion on it. And the water, and there couldn't have been, the last time there was enough rain in that part of Egypt to cause water erosion was 12,500 years ago. Pre-flood.
Pre-flood. Very pre-flood.
So that, and no one can explain that. No one has an explanation.
Well, evolutionary science can't explain that.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Science from an evolution, good point. That takes the evolutionary narrative theory and makes those assumptions as it looks at the evidence, can't explain that.
Yep.
It's the same body of evidence that we all have.
Yep.
But we all start with a different set of assumptions because of the narrative that we adopt before we approach the evidence.
Yeah.
There is no proof. There's only evidence for all these things.
So when people say, you know, how could chimeras exist? How could, you know, advanced technology to build these structures exist? Wouldn't they have just been aliens? I mean, I saw that.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah, I saw that on the History Channel. Yeah. I saw that in Ridley Scott's movies. It's like, welcome to the same programming that Sweet Tooth is.
Yeah.
Welcome to the same programming as Contagion. Welcome to the same programming as all this other stuff that are lies meant to deceive you and throw you off the trail of the truth.
100%.
You know?
100%.
So it's all because that whole advanced technology of ancient civilizations is something that is embedded in almost like in the DNA of humanity. Like every culture, it's like the Native Americans. The Native Americans don't claim the burial mounds.
No, they don't.
You know, we tell them, we say
the Great Serpent Mound and the Great Circle Mound in Ohio, the Pawnee, we tell them, oh, you guys built this, and they tell us, no, we didn't. It was here before we got here. We're like, no, you built them.
Yeah,
no, it's you guys.
It's you guys. Yeah,
like no, we were just entrusted to preserve it. It was entrusted to us. We got here. They were here, so we have preserved and protected it.
Yeah,
like no, you don't know that you did.
Yeah, but you did. Yeah, and also now
how arrogant are we?
Yeah. Well, that's the Luciferian thing, man. Take pride. Always pride.
There we go.
Pride in yourself, self-serving. You're perfect the way you are. You know,
nobody's perfect the way they are.
Just serve the light. Yep. You know, worship the light. The light is all there is. Be the light.
The most perfect a person can ever be is the second they're born and delivered into this world.
Yeah.
And they're still hopelessly sinful.
Yep. Hopelessly in need of salvation.
That's true. They're adorable and I love them. And they're as pure as you could possibly be as a human being relying on your own.
Yeah.
But they're still fallen.
Yep. We're born in a fallen world.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the reality of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? Absolutely.
But CRISPR Technologies is going to save us from all that, where you never grow old and you never die.
That's right.
You know,
I want to get into that in a second, actually. Three things, my three takeaways from watching, or three more takeaways from watching Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
One, and this was amazing. Gus, the main kid, the deer boy, right?
Cute little deer boy.
His father dies, and he goes off on a quest to find his mother. He thinks his mother's still alive.
Yeah.
And he's got to get to Colorado.
Yep.
And he runs into Jep, who helps him along the way.
Yep.
And they got to, all he knows is his mom. He's got a little picture of his mom in his pocket. He believes that she's still alive. She's probably dead, but he believes she's still alive, and he wants to go find his mom. He's just so full of hope.
And everybody assumes that she's dead.
Everyone assumes she's dead, but he's so full of hope that everyone who meets him is like, man, he's got so much hope. I just want to help him.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a cute kid. He's looking for his mom. She's in Colorado. Well, they start picking up clues as to where in Colorado she might be.
Yeah.
They're on the train. They sneak onto a train.
Oh, yeah.
Gus and Jep sneak onto a train. They bump into a guy working on the train. Turns out it's an old friend of Jep's.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're looking for his mom. You know, she's in some, you know, we're going to Essex City. She's in some place called Go-Grow.
Yeah. What is Go-Grow?
Go-Grow. They're like, Go-Grow. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't sound like a street. It doesn't sound like a city. It doesn't sound like, what is that?
Yeah.
Go-Grow. And the guy on the train's like, oh, yeah, man, everyone
I got
knows
it in my
Go-Grow.
notepad.
Yeah, everyone knows Go-Grow. I know it.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Goss Grove.
What?
Goss Grove. Goss Grove.
Yeah. What? Why? Why Goss Grove? Get out of our lives, Robert Downey Jr.
That's freaking Creepsville.
Yeah.
I don't know what you, Robert Downey Jr., I don't know what you're doing
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But by God, you better sign some swag and send it to me if
Yeah.
you're using my last name.
Yeah. I mean, look, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was a good movie, but not cool.
I want to meet Tony Stark. You'd be using my last name.
Yeah, you fly over here, Robert Downey Jr., your little Iron Man suit. And
You can have a drink
we'll
with
talk
us.
about this. Yeah. Get you, bring your adrenochrome.
Anyway, that blew my mind because our last name was Goss. And
And you
Goss
never
Grove.
see
It's not
Goss in anything.
No, it's not good. The last time you saw Goss, besides this live stream, of course, the last time you saw Goss was Porter Goss, which is George W. Was Bush or Obama's? He was the director of the CIA.
Oh, yeah.
Porter Goss was the director of the CIA.
I
Before
forgot about that.
there was no Goss. There was
Yeah.
only our father, and that was it.
Yeah, there was
The Goss brothers.
The
that was
Goss
it.
brothers.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's some new. If you Google the Goss brothers, it brings up like some new, like there are two brothers. I don't know if they're musicians or if they might be actors, but they're not big. You know, they're whatever.
We should shut them down.
It's just yeah. I'm all for it. Yeah,
We had the name first. They're the one that suck.
they are
my name.
There are Michael Boltons.
Yeah, there are Michael Boltons. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm spoiling for a war, so sure, go for it.
One of the other things I picked up from it, obviously, we just mentioned that, right? It's created by DC, but one of the executive producers is Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Mr. Marvel, Mr. Tony Stark.
Mr. Marvel himself.
Sorry, Endgame happened. He's dead, so they're not making any more of his movies unless they go maybe do some prequels or something. You know, maybe they will. I like the guy, but he jumped over to DC. He's one of the executive producers for Sweet Tooth. And the third thing is there's no male white good guys.
Yep.
No male white good guys at all.
Yep.
Do they want me to watch it? I want to watch it and enjoy it. Have a little something for everyone.
They want you to watch it and feel bad. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, I feel bad that I can't shoot the little hybrid babies.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're hybrids. They ain't humans.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, an AR would be perfect for that.
Let me tell you.
It is Independence Day, so you should go out and buy an AR-15.
Let's talk about hybrids. Made some notes.
All
right. So there has been a lot of research over the past 10, 15 years about making animal-human hybrids for various scientific reasons. One is they want to be able to find they want to unlock some sort of genetic combination that they can harvest and replicate in human DNA to cure all kinds of maladies that there's a cancer epidemic. There's an HIV epidemic. There's COVID now, which they're using in Sweet Tooth under the guise of another. Basically, it's a COVID equivalent in Sweet Tooth.
Yep.
But they want to find some animal because animals, just like in the movie, animals and hybrids are immune from the diseases that are killing humanity.
Yep.
So think cancer. So think HIV. So forth. So scientists have been trying to create these hybrids, taking the best DNA from the best qualities of animals in their DNA and trying to fuse that with human DNA to come up with some sort of workable DNA string. They can basically, like you use an
Elixir.
RNA or a Cas9 or whatever, and put it in, inject it into us, and that'll solve our problems and do a lot of things for us. So one of the leading scientists in this research is a guy named Hiromitsu Nakauchi, a Japanese scientist who was doing this research in Japan. He was doing a human-sheep hybrid experiment.
Really?
Trying to create hybrid embryos.
Really?
And he actually had to flee Japan because it was, at the time, it was against the nature of his research went beyond what was legally allowable.
Really?
So he fled Japan.
That says a lot, by the way.
Can you guess where he went?
America.
He came here to the U.S.
Yeah, of course.
And what happened when he got here to the U.S.? The U.S. Army granted him $1.4 million to continue his research here. The U.S. Army, the military, our very own military.
Jeez.
And he has continued his human-pig hybrid research and human-sheep hybrid research here in the States.
That makes sense because, well, first of all, I just want to say how hilariously hypocritical it is that Japan would not let him. This is the thing, like, godless people value animals more than humans.
That's true.
And
PETA.
so,
Can I ask more of this?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Godless, you always know someone who's godless because they will step over a starving child to save a puppy.
Well said. Can I say?
And, oh, yeah, sure, thank you. And,
wait, are you packing?
No.
Okay.
No, or maybe. I don't know. What are we talking about?
That's the right answer.
Yeah. None of your business.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Have you been vaccinated?
None of your business.
None of your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you packing heat? None of your business.
Yeah. I don't know. Why don't you ask your college-age daughter?
Are you vaccinated? I don't know. Cough on my face.
Yeah.
Cough on me.
Why don't you try and fight me and find out?
Yeah, exactly.
Bring your friends. Doors unlocked.
You notice the more I drink, the farther down my horns get. Let me put them back up.
old limp antlered Nick.
Limp antlers. Limplers.
He's got some. He's got old whiskey antlers.
That's nice. Whiskey antlers.
There you go. Yeah. So that's like the inbred hybrid.
There we go.
That's the hybro.
Yeah.
It's the inbred. The inbred.
I love it. I love it.
But no, it's so funny that Japan will allow cannibalism. Yeah, thanks, Jessica. Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate it. Ungrateful colonials unite. Japan will allow cannibalism, but they won't allow human
Did
testing.
they allow cannibalism?
Yeah. Yeah, there are a couple stories about some guys who,
as it was in the days of Noah.
Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty sick, twisted culture. It's got some great things,
Had no
whatever,
idea.
but there's some pretty awful things about whatever, but so they'll allow that, but they want to allow animal testing. Now pigs are a close approximation to humans. In fact, when you join the Navy to be a corpsman, corpsman is whatever, you Google it.
They make you squeal like a pig.
They do. Yeah.
I've heard.
It's look, you can only go so far on a ship, but no, when they take you to the pig farm, and and they got a bunch of pigs out there because pigs are so close to humans and in their anatomy and everything that they got a bunch of pigs, and they'll just they'll stab it with a bayonet, or they'll shoot it, or they'll blow its leg off, and then you, the corpsman in training, have to work on it.
Oh wow,
that's part of your training.
Wow.
You go to this camp, and not a lot of people know about that, but that's
I didn't know
real.
that.
You can look that up. Yeah. So
they do a lot of their.
So there's a reason why they use.
Yeah, they're trying to actually
Pig
they're
hybrids.
trying to grow. They're doing this genetic experiment currently.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to grow human organs inside pigs for transplants.
Yeah.
And they are very, very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
I bet they are.
And this is all because of CRISPR.
Mm-hmm. CRISPR technologies,
Yep.
which we first heard about CRISPR on a Rob Skiba video.
About a year and a half ago.
Yeah, probably a year and a half ago. Yeah, when we were looking up Nephilim and human animal hybrids. That's a big part of the esoterica surrounding the Nephilim and Genesis 6. And Nick and I were talking about how, like, honestly, the Genesis 6 lie that we have all been taught to believe, that it's the Sethite theory, that it was the righteous sons of Seth marrying the unholy, the daughters of Canaan or whatever.
The unrighteous daughters of Cain.
Yeah, the unrighteous daughters of Cain.
Hogwash.
Total hogwash. It really is. It's a great deception. There's nothing biblically that supports that at all. Everything biblically echoes the fallen angels theory and the Nephilim theory. And if you're a Christian and you're watching this and you're like, wow, that's too weird, I don't think that's true, and I've been a pastor for like 20 years, well, congratulations, you've failed your congregation.
Yeah, you have to ignore multiple passages in the New Testament to come to that conclusion. And you have to reinterpret the phrase sons of God in every other place it occurs in the Old Testament to come to the conclusion that sons of God means the righteous line of Seth. Yeah,
it never meant that.
It always meant angels all throughout the Old Testament.
Every Elohim, every single time it meant angels. So one of the great deceptions perpetuated against the Christian church is that you're not, that Genesis 6 was just about people. It wasn't just about people. And if you can't accept that, you can't accept the Bible, and you should really question whether or not you're really a Christian. So,
and your faith is going to be really challenged.
Yeah, in about, 5 years?
It's got to be in the next 2 or 3 years. Because check this out.
Because human animal babies are so cute, and now you can have one.
Dude, they're coming, I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. Check this out. This year, China successfully grew a human monkey embryo.
Really?
They injected human sperm into a chimpanzee egg.
Monkey egg?
Created an embryo, and it lasted 20 days.
Wow.
They grew it for 20 days. Here's the thing. At the end of 20 days, they destroyed it.
Oh, really?
It didn't die. It wasn't that it didn't work or didn't take.
Because Dolly took several attempts before they got a working.
No, they terminated it at 20 days.
So how long?
This is just what they let us. This is what China allowed us to know. This is what China allows the world to know. Oh, no, we just terminated 20 days. Yep. We don't do anything behind the curtain where the rest of the world can't see.
Yeah.
Then they destroyed it. That means those embryos didn't die on their own.
Yep.
I mean, China is known for their ethics, their protocols. No, they've been the foremost champion of scientific research ethics.
Yeah.
They've been great. Really follow their lead. I mean, and besides, what could possibly go wrong when protocols in a Chinese lab aren't followed?
Yeah, what could possibly happen if some little Planet of the Apes
makes you
monkey
wonder.
boy escapes?
Jeez, they didn't even. And here's the great thing:
they don't care about anybody but themselves.
Here's the great thing: this is what I love about China.
Yeah.
Do you know why they were doing this?
No, why?
They weren't trying to find a cure for cancer.
Were they trying to make like a better egg roll?
Close. Really? And they didn't even try to hide.
They'll eat anything.
They didn't even try to hide their intentions. They have not denied this. They were. I can't believe I'm saying this. They were trying to make a race of human hybrid monkeys for a slave labor force. It's like, have you not seen Planet of the Apes? It's like Planet of the Apes and Brave New World. They didn't even try. They didn't even deny it. They didn't even deny it.
Oh my gosh!
They said, "Yeah, we want like super strong monkey men to do all our labor for us."
Yeah, we want the big monkey men
because the workforce they currently have is too populated and people are too smart. They're too hard to control.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues there.
Can you believe that?
That's adorable.
Isn't that great?
China.
My goodness.
It's only a matter of time before like there's some raw GoPro footage of like some battlefield outside of Taiwan where you get like Sasquatch glimpses of monkey soldiers.
They're doing that. Well, that's the thing. That's what they've been trying to do. They've been trying to create a super soldier.
Yeah.
And you'll see that in the CRISPR video I actually have teed up for us to watch here in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, good.
Another thing, too, recently in May of this year, so a month before last, the International Society for Stem Cell Research, which it's not law, but they set policy that most of the world's leading nations follow in their scientific research.
Right. Yep.
So the International Society for Stem Cell Research in May of 2021 updated their guidelines. They updated their guidelines. And they are advocating for no limits with academia, funders, and governments, and saying it is unethical not to research hybrid embryos after 14 days. So they're basically saying, that thing that China did, 20 days old, that should be totally accepted, because the limit's been 14 days. Everyone's agreed.
Yeah.
If you create some sort of embryo for research, you terminate it at 14 days.
Yeah.
China went
Beyond
distance.
that.
They went beyond that to 20.
Yeah.
And so this international research society is saying, yeah, we should let them do that.
Yeah.
There could be some real breakthroughs. There could be some real there could
coming,
be some
baby.
breakthroughs. You better believe there's breakthroughs are coming.
Mm-hmm.
And to show you what breakthroughs are coming,
I hope you people are ready.
if you're okay with me playing this right now.
Let's do it.
CRISPR
I'm all about
technologies. Okay, I'm going to play. You want to explain what CRISPR is?
So CRISPR Technologies is, if I remember correctly, is a biomedical and bioengineering research and development company that basically, before Sweet Tooth, before China, before all of this, was marketing themselves as being the future of humanity by having literal human animal hybrids.
Yeah.
You know, you want to live forever. You want to breathe underwater. You could be part fish. You want to fly. You know, you can you can genetically modify people. If I remember, now correct me if I'm wrong. Which was it? Were they interested in creating human animal hybrids from the womb, or were they interested in modifying people?
Yes and yes.
Both.
They want to do both.
Well, if you're going to
CRISPR
be evil, you might as well go all the
CRISPR
way.
is a genetic.
What a spitting in God's
genetics-
face, by the way.
It is absolutely. It's a genetics technology.
Yeah.
That allows us to splice and modify the genome.
Yeah.
Whether in an already living, fully developed person,
Yep.
or in an embryo, to
Yep.
create designer babies. Not my terminology.
Designer babies.
Not my terminology. So let me get this teed up for you guys. I'm going to stop the screen share. And
Because it
then
used to
bring it up
be-
here. Let's see.
It used to be like, oh, your baby's going to have autism. Well, you should go ahead and abort it. Now it's, oh, you want your baby to be like the movie Splice and be, be a little half lizard chimera thing. Yeah, we could do that.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Let's see here. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to play this.
We've known about this for a year and a half, right?
Check this out, folks. I wish, Instagram, if you guys are watching on Instagram right now, you'll be able to see this at the YouTube live stream or on Facebook, on our Facebook page, the Gosslings. If you might be able to hear this, if not, I'm sorry, I'm doing a screen share right now. But go ahead and take a listen.
Except if you use them on reproductive cells or very early embryos. But CRISPR can and probably will be used for much more. The creation of modified humans, designer babies.
Designer
and
motherfucking
gradual
babies.
But irreversible changes to the human gene pool. The means to edit the genome of a human embryo already exist, though the technology is still in its early stages. But it has already been attempted twice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
In 2015
third time's a charm.
2016, Chinese scientists experimented with human embryos and were partially successful on their second attempt. They showed the enormous challenges we still face in gene editing embryos, but also that scientists are working on solving them. This is like the computer in the 70s. There will be better computers. Regardless of your personal take on genetic
Here
engineering,
we go.
it will affect you. Modified humans can alter the genome of our entire species because their engineered traits will be passed on to their children and can spread over generations, slowly modifying the whole gene pool of humanity. It will start slowly. The first designer babies will not be overly designed. It's most likely that they will be created to eliminate a deadly genetic disease running in a family.
Oh, of course.
As the technology progresses and gets more refined, more and more people may argue that not using genetic modification is unethical because...
Okay, I just want to pause it right here. They're predicting, and these are the advocates for this technology. They are predicting that not genetically modifying your baby will be unethical. They're going to tell us because you don't want to genetically modify your baby, you're depriving them of enhanced abilities.
Yeah.
And they're saying that's unethical.
It's the same thing as the vaccine crowd.
Yeah, they're using your children to further their agenda.
Yep.
Oh, it's so sick. So sick.
Yep.
It condemns children to preventable suffering and death and denies them the cure. But as soon as the first engineered kid is born, a door is opened that can't be closed anymore.
Creepy.
Early on, vanity traits will mostly be left alone. But as genetic modification becomes more accepted and our knowledge of our genetic code enhances, the temptation will grow.
Did you see that? Look at this.
Our knowledge of our
Now
genetic code
you can have a pretty child.
Buy 2 modifications and get 1 free.
I just love too
the
evil, like anti-human, misanthropic, satanic, just pure Luciferian attitude towards humanity. Now you can have a pretty child.
Yeah.
You know, as if your child isn't beautiful to you the second he or she is born.
Yeah, and of all the promotional videos for CRISPR technologies,
they're so out of touch.
This shot right here that you're looking at, this is the best picture of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They snip your genetic, they snip the genome, which is a string of your DNA.
Yep.
They unwind the helix, the double helix, and they snip out the undesirable portion, and then they paste the desirable traits you want.
Yep.
That's what CRISPR does.
Plug in the gaps, just like the cartoon in Jurassic Park.
That's right.
Yeah.
When they used a frog, the DNA of a frog.
They're turning the freaking frogs gay. Yeah. It turns out Jurassic Park called it. Alex Jones was right before he even knew it.
They did. And Jurassic Park was almost 20 years ago. 30 years ago.
30 years ago. Almost 30 years ago. I think it came out in 93. I'll tell you another one that kind of predicted this was not early, but an Ethan Hawke movie called Gattaca.
I never saw Gattaca.
Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. It was about humanity, like the coolest people in humanity got to go on the rockets and go to outer space, Mars, wherever. Yeah. Right. So if you were super cool, it also, I think it had Jude Law in it as well. And anyways, so all of the best people in humanity were genetically engineered. They were Ubermenschens, all of them, except for the main character who was naturally born. And he was inferior. He couldn't run as fast. His eyesight wasn't as good. His cognitive ability, and it was all about him kind of like tricking his way into, getting into the space program.
Yeah.
So he could go do the cool thing and be with the cool chick, Uma Thurman, and So all of this is nothing new.
This is nothing new.
That was back in the 90s, I think, when that movie came out. So anyway.
Temptation will grow. If you make your offspring immune to Alzheimer, why not also give them an enhanced metabolism?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect eyesight.
Of course.
Sure.
Muscular
bespoke boutique babies.
How about giving your child the gift of extraordinary intelligence? Huge.
First of all, my kids already have the gift of extraordinary intelligence. I think we all knew that. Okay.
Changes made as a result of the personal decisions of millions.
There it is.
There it is. Monkey
baby.
Is a slippery slope. Modified humans could become the new standard. But as engineering becomes more normal and our knowledge improves, we could solve the single biggest mortality risk factor, aging.
Here it is.
2/3 of the 150,000 people who die today will die of age-related causes. Currently, we think aging is caused by the accumulation of damage to our cells, like DNA breaks and the systems responsible for fixing those wearing off over time. But there are also genes that directly affect aging.
Yep.
A combination of genetic engineering and other therapy could stop or slow down.
She's just getting hotter and hotter.
Even reverse it. We know from nature that there are animals immune to aging. Maybe we could even borrow a few genes for ourselves. Some scientists even think biological aging could be something that eventually just stops being a thing.
Cute joke.
We would still die at some point, but instead of doing so in hospitals at age 90, we might be able to spend a few thousand years with our loved ones.
Stop right there.
Yep.
Instead of dying at age 90, we might be able to spend a few thousand years with our loved ones. Do you remember the distinct difference between the days of Noah and the days after Noah?
Extended age.
Extended age. Methuselah lived 969 years, the longest living human.
Yep.
They were all 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 years old. Adam lived 900 years.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
God changed, God modified our DNA after the flood.
Yeah.
And we are trying to get back to that. Jesus said in Matthew 24, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man, the end of time.
Yeah.
When we are getting back to the pre-flood days, genetic modification.
Yep.
Long life.
Yep.
You know, hybrids.
Yep.
Sons of God coming down.
Yeah.
You know,
aliens
intervening in the affairs of humanity. You know, it's all happening again. We are
right
on the threshold of the repeat of the days of Noah.
Yeah. It's all happening right in front of your faces, and none of it's new, and it's been around for a long time. And the other thing that you don't like, people think that sounds all really great, but here's the problem. People have to die in order for, like, you listen to Bill Burr and some other people who are on this, like, there's too many people on the planet sort of thing. Well, first of all, if you think there are too many people on the planet, you should kill yourself. You should be the first to die.
Yes.
You should kill yourself, and you should
But that's a funny bit.
Yeah.
It's a funny bit.
Well, he really does believe it. He mentions it all the time. And people, you know, all of you people who think that the world is overpopulated, get together with your other friends and do us all a favor.
Drink your own Kool-Aid.
Drink your own Kool-Aid, and be sure to put the bleach in it. And the thing is, like, we're not overpopulated. That's such a false statement. It's such a gaslighting, satanic, anti-human myth.
You could fit all of the people on the earth in the city of New York.
Yeah, there's nothing, like, we could get up to at least 9 billion before we start to experience any kind of issue, any kind at all.
Yep.
There's no issue with overpopulation. But I tell you what will cause it is if all of a sudden people start living a few thousand years. Because then you have a Logan's Run situation where you reach a certain age and it's time for you to cap out. You know? Who determines that? Who determines whether you should live or die? You know? You're going to leave that up to a state? That is a communist's wet dream.
It's true.
Yeah.
Will Piercy? I know that name.
Yeah, Will. Yeah, my buddy from high school.
Yeah. He asked if you guys ever watched Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy. I'm trying to remember. Is that that's not the movie with Channing Tatum and the chick from that 70s show, is it? Well, I can't remember. Is that the one where he's like the little like dog hybrid? I might be thinking of something else. I don't know. Will, I don't know.
Teen Wolf.
Yeah, Teen
Wolf. Is that what you're talking about?
Teen Wolf 2.
We talking Teen Wolf?
Don't get Nick started on Dogman. We'll be here another hour.
That's in my one-off. Sorry, you're stuck with it.
Right, good.
I'll refrain until then.
Yeah, I don't know. Will, elaborate on that, because I'm trying to. Oh, no, I'm thinking of Jupiter Ascending. Never mind. I'm thinking of something else. I don't know what Jupiter's Legacy is. Will, go ahead and elaborate on that in the comments, because I'm curious to see what that is. But yeah, like this whole thing about like never grow old and never die. I actually talk about it in the third Heavenly Realms novel, the one that deals with the flood.
Yeah.
Like there's a moment where one of the characters has a conversation telepathically with Leviathan.
Wow.
And part of the Leviathan order, Leviathan tells him, like, we know we can't defeat God, so we're going to circumvent God.
Yeah.
Which means our whole objective with this pre-flood world before you guys, before it got drowned, was basically to create a world where no one died.
Yeah.
Because if no one dies, no one has to face God and answer to God.
Yep.
And you could be your own God
Yep.
here on earth forever.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what they're gearing towards here in such a sick, anti-human sort of way.
Yep.
And it just, but eventually, if you live for a few thousand years, you're going to have to either control the birth rate or you're going to have euthanasia.
Yep.
Or we're going to have to create interdimensional portals like the Tower of Babel.
Yep.
Or we're going to have
Stargate.
we're going to have to break through the firmament and try and go somewhere else like heaven, like invade heaven.
Don't worry, God's got a plan. It's all mapped out. Read Revelation.
Yeah.
Interpret that, and you'll know exactly what's coming down the pike. And none of this is a surprise.
No.
The only thing that's a surprise to me is that it's in
your lifetime.
In my lifetime that I'm starting to see some of the signs. I'm seeing the labor pangs.
You're watching the planets line.
I can see it coming
into alignment.
I'm seeing things that over the past 2,000 years, Christianity, the church has been watching for and has not yet seen.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see the alignment of certain events. It's coming. We are on the doorstep.
Yep. We're on the threshold of hell.
We're on the dogs and cats
living together.
Mass hysteria.
Jupiter is sending his part. Oh, okay, yeah. So it is the same intellectual property, isn't it? Well, okay,
right on.
Yeah. So they live forever. I didn't know that. I never actually watched that movie. Is it based off of like a comic book or an anime or something? Also, I know it's the Wachowskis. At least I think it was the Wachowskis. Anyways, I'd be interested. Nick's gotta
had to bottom it out, and horns are gonna fall off. Whiskey horns.
But yeah, all this stuff is programming.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
Yep.
What else you got on your little notepad there?
That's all I have for now. That's all I have for now for this episode, which is well timed because we're almost an hour and a half in.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking we might transition to one-offs.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and do the subscribe thing before we do? And
if you guys are still with us, we'd love for you to subscribe to the Heavenly Realms YouTube channel. Also, join like the Facebook page, the Gosslings Facebook page. Join the group, and we'd really appreciate it. We know you're still listening. If you're on Instagram, go to YouTube, go to Heavenly Realms. Just type in Heavenly Realms, the Gosslings. You'll find the channel. Yeah. We'd love for you to subscribe. We do this every week, 4:30 Central Standard Time. You can watch all of our past episodes. What's that?
Show the join the group thing.
Oh, yeah. Join the group. Oh, this is the Facebook group. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, this is where you can find us on Facebook here. We'd love for you to join. And without further ado, we will move on to something we do every week since day one.
Yeah.
Where we write something on our typewriters because we're typewriter enthusiasts.
You want to downgrade?
Or let's downgrade.
Yeah,
let's take these off.
This is what we think of hybrids.
Yeah.
No and no.
I can't wait to get real trophies to put on my wall, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, really.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to have a nice ring around here for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we need to make a timestamp for everyone. Like, these guys are buffoons.
If you want to see, like, normal people,
you want to see the normies, go to, 1 hour and 20 minutes.
You want to see God's children and not... You want to see Father God, the Lord Jesus Christ's children, not
at least closer to what God intended.
Yeah, not Mother Nature's. I
still got a sweet tooth.
Bastard children, dirty, filthy.
Every week, we do. We on typewriters. We love writing on typewriters, and it's so gratifying. It really does have bearing on your voice. It changes what your writing sounds like. Yep. So we committed as just writers and being in having our own writers group that we were going to write at least one page of something on a typewriter every week, and we would read it to anyone who watches this on the live stream, whatever it is, embarrassing, full of typos, whatever, but just that unadulterated, raw, creative output on paper through a typewriter. Mm-hmm. We do this every week, and to decide who goes first, because we're parallel blades as brothers, so it's hard for us to decide who's just going to go first. We always do rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
You want to?
Yep.
All right.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Yeah. All right.
Well, I'll go first, and I'm glad that I lost. I'm actually glad that I lost this time.
Oh yeah.
I'm really competitive, but I'm glad that I lost because mine is related to the topic.
Good. Yeah. Great.
Here we go. And the great thing about the one-offs is that we've had maybe 1, maybe 2 glasses of bourbon.
Right.
By the time we get to the one-offs.
Yeah, by the time we get to the one-offs, we're a little
less inhibition. It's a little more.
We're a little soaked.
I hope that it adds to your experience as the viewer.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Heaven forgive me.
All right, go for it.
This is where we lose subscribers, right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
That's fine.
Weak. What would my dog think of a human-animal hybrid? my first inclination would be that my dog would be ecstatic about a human that smelled extra familiar. A human that could smell the trail of a rabbit, rest on its haunches, and maybe lick its own nuts. But then the hybrid would speak, give commands, withhold food and praise. A man-dog with human intelligence to take what it wanted from all the other dogs. Or a human with the ferocity, the claws, the fangs, to mutilate and subjugate all other humans. This dog man would be friend to neither dog nor man. It would most certainly have to live on its own. Dogs can live in packs, and man can live in societies.
Yeah.
But a dog man could find no peace, companionship, or purpose in either.
Yep.
But that kind of monster will always find itself running from the man's rifled gangs, the hunting parties. And the packs of dogs will forever evade it, too afraid of the master hound. When these hybrids reproduce, two problems arise. Their purebred animal counterparts flee in horror. There is no willing mate for them among man or beast. The hybrid must take. It must rape. For the mother, whether human or animal, she knows that it will not survive. She will not survive the delivery.
Yeah.
What would happen if a man brought home a sheep-human hybrid child, and the man's dog was wolf-bred, as all dogs are?
Yeah.
The dog would have to go, correct? Maybe. But in today's world, we ignore the mechanisms of nature. We ignore the basic rules. We are too entitled to our own delusions of personal utopia. The child would stay, as would the wolf. One of them may die, and the other, by force of law, may have to be put down or punished. But which one? Do animal-human hybrids share the same human rights as us? If not, then they should be eradicated.
Yeah.
But if they do share the same human rights, will there be immunity from prosecution when the hybrid forces itself on an unwilling human child?
Yep.
Because it cannot master its own animal appetites.
Yep.
Try telling a dog not to hump another dog when it's unsupervised.
Yeah.
Then explain to me how it's fair. They can get special access to vote, sniff out traces of cocaine, and get to be considered service therapy animals after crapping on my lawn, raping my schnauzer, and driving away with my teenage daughter in their pickup truck. Should they be allowed to drive? And what about kids' sports?
Yeah.
Huh? Is it fair that your kid doesn't get to make the team because he can't jump high enough or run fast enough? Sorry, Timmy. You have to have actual horns to play for the Rams. You know, at some point, the Karens are going to have enough. And hybrid heads are going to start rolling.
Yeah.
And I'm right there with you, Karens.
Yep. Yep.
But what if we have it backwards about the qualities of a hybrid?
Yeah.
This is what I was getting at earlier. How hilarious would it be? What a magnificent cosmic joke if these hybrids didn't possess the best of both human and animal,
Right. Yeah.
but the worst of each.
Yeah.
For example, a man with a dog's intellect, or a dog with the inability to reach and lick its own genitals. What a useless citizen of both tribes. Now that is a creature worth euthanizing.
Yep.
Or how about a man that goes for a walk but steps in his own poop.
Or eats cat poop.
Or eats cat poop. Or a dog with opposable thumbs that can bring you a beer but still can't open it for you. Or like Mog from Spaceballs.
Yeah.
He's his own best friend. Could he play fetch with himself? And if you could teach that creature to feed itself, could you also teach it not to bite the hand that feeds it?
Yeah.
To bite its own hand? And what would we call these bizarre animal human dog breeds? Labradogs? How about Chihuahuans? No, I got it. Golden Receivers. How about Herman Shepherds? Salmatians or Cocker Spaniels?
That's good.
Yeah, I could go on and on. But the point I'm trying to make is that I'm betting that intelligence will be the last perfected quality, if ever.
Yep.
And that the first round of hybrids will contain the lowest common denominators of both species.
Yep.
And until I'm proven wrong, I say, happy hunting, America.
Yes. Yes. Kill them all.
Oh, that was fun.
Get up in them trees and shoot them monkey people.
That's right. Second Amendment is what it's for.
That's what. Yep. I'm telling you.
Those forefathers knew.
They knew.
They read their Revelation. They read their Genesis 6.
Yeah, they knew. You know what? One day, they're going to be monkey people in the trees. We better put a Second Amendment in there so our great-great-grandchildren can shoot these monkey people out of these trees.
You know, I was watching the CRISPR videos.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about China and all the wonderful things they're trying to do. And I'm like, you watch Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
The intelligence of humans, the strength of apes. I'm like, what if it was the opposite?
Yeah.
What if it was like you had an animal.
The craven stupidity of an animal.
No, yeah. Like you had a being that
and
was
the weakness of a human.
would poop in its hand and throw it at people.
Yeah.
And then it would also want
welfare.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Want welfare and not know how to read.
My baby daddy throws his poop at people.
Yeah. Dude, so did I tell you about the Rhodesian guy or the South African guy that we know at the gun shop?
No.
So he said that you could I can't remember if it was in Rhodesia or if it was in South Africa, but he said that you would have to go out into the jungle and like whittle down and exterminate the monkey population. And they would you would take a shotgun, a pump action shotgun, and a poncho. Yeah.
And a poncho.
Because they throw their poop at you from the trees.
Of course they do.
Guess what? What I throw is a lot better than what they throw.
Absolutely.
So humans first.
Absolutely.
Humans first.
Yeah. Not a fan of hybrids. In case you haven't caught that, if you're still watching after an hour and a half, we ain't down with the hybrids.
No. You can be a cute little boy, cute little deer boy, whatever, but I ain't buying it. You know? I ain't buying it at all. Yep.
All right, your turn.
All right. Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
This is
Delta.
Really delicious Delta.
We appreciate it. All right, mine's oh wait, no, it's not that one. Let's see. It's this one. Almost
my stamp of approval.
The wrong one. Mine's not quite as colorful as Nick's, but it is short. So I think it's I didn't go. This is like the only one. I did 4. This was the only one that didn't go over 1 page. All right. Chester was on the lam. He had been running for hours. The fight with Mr. Mufflemittens had been a battle for the ages. He had gotten lucky. In the tumult, a window had been broken. And though Chester knew it would be a wounding of bloody paw, he was able to make his escape. He managed to lure the cat out by dragging his master's favorite dress shoes into the front lawn. Mr. Mufflemittens loved to defecate in them, or puke up a hairball and stuff it down into the toes where human couldn't see them until it was too late. But now the cat was gone, and Chester was free. Bleeding and limping through the midnight lawns, Chester worried that perhaps he had made a mistake. The sky was erupting in thunderous, colorful explosions. Birds were falling out of the sky. He kept hearing the same song over and over again. He was starting to wonder that he would be lost for good, or worse. At a nearby baseball field, what his master called ritualistic Masonic diamond sports ball Odeons, he picked up the scent of his human. He raced towards it with a fresh vigor. The song played again, and Chester stopped and sat. His master had taught him that much. Suddenly he was scooped up and carried away. In the dark, the scent told him he was home. I confess, his master whispered as he carried Chester back to the house. Fireworks make my pee-pee move. I keep thinking it's gunfire. And that's my favorite noise, because I think it means we're finally cleaning up this town. But I'll settle for the light show. For now. Chester licked his human's cheek, knowing each had their burdens to bear. If human can do it, he thought, I can too.
Oh, that's so great. That's so good.
That took 4 tries, by the way.
Really?
To get
Wow.
Well, it took 4 tries to get to one that like wasn't just me almost just
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was on the Royal?
Yes, it was.
Well,
So my typewriter died last weekend, so Nick was kind enough to let me borrow one of his.
we have identical typewriters, 1954 Royal Quiet Deluxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good typewriter, not expensive, not the smoothest action, not the best typewriter. They're kind of the Glock of the typewriter world. Honestly,
Really?
It's like they're everywhere. They're not expensive,
They're awesome, man.
but
They're
they work.
workhorses.
Yeah, they really
Yeah.
are. I mean, the one that I had, I can't blame it for breaking. Literally, like it was my grandmother's typewriter when she was in like grade school or high school. One of the two.
That's a special thing, man.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it goes
really
back
cool.
to like the 40s,
Yeah,
or the 50s.
And then you got me, because we're technically half brothers, but you got me one identical to yours that your grandmother gave you.
Yeah,
And man, I love it.
it's cool.
It's so fun.
There are definitely better typewriters out there, but they're not expensive on Marketplace or eBay or whatever. Like you can find them pretty cheap because just about everybody has them. There's not a whole lot that's collectible to them, and they're not the greatest typewriters in the world. They're not the most portable. They don't have the smoothest action. They're not the tightest. Whatever. They're not the easiest to type on, but they run.
Yep.
I mean, mine. I had it serviced one time in 2005.
Yeah, wow.
And I had already
Man.
had it for like 5 or 6 years at that point.
Yeah.
I got it after G-Mom. I take it back. I think she gave it to me when she was still alive. So I probably had it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was using it pretty regularly in the mid-2000s. Had it serviced in 2005. Haven't had it touched since then.
Yeah.
So
the only thing plastic on those typewriters are the keys
yeah.
and the knobs to turn the plant. That's it.
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess they are.
That's
aren't
it.
they?
Everything else, every part is metal.
Yeah, and
Every
that's
part.
that's why they really are like the Glock of typewriters, because like they're made to run, and they're not the most refined or the most elegant or the best, but they run.
Yeah.
And what happened to it was fairly catastrophic. Like it really does need repair. I'm supposed to take it to Kirk sometime and get it fixed, but but I can't fault it because I was using it pretty heavily there for, how long have we been doing this? For almost a year?
Almost a year.
Yeah. So, it was getting a good workout. And there were times where I would type up 20, 30 pages of something.
Yeah.
Even before all this, before we started doing this. So I can't blame
Kirk at Nashville Typewriter is going to take care of you.
Yeah.
Which is great, which we really appreciate.
Yeah.
I typed mine on, let me see, lean this way. No, lean this way.
There you go.
And this guy right here, that's a Smith Corona, 1955 Smith Corona. It's the same color as our Royals. It's interesting. Out of the 50s, they're all that kind of weird gray body and dark green keys, like 40s, late 40s and 50s typewriters. Like my Underwood it's the same color gray with dark green keys. It's the same type of color scheme. But this Smith Corona Silent Super, 1955, I modified it. I put some big white keys on it, I changed out the arm to the carriage.
Yeah.
But it is a really tight action. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, it is. And it's quiet. The bell is
It
really quiet.
The bell is really. They call it a super. I'm guessing they call it a silent super because the bell is so quiet.
Yeah.
But the keys are really loud because it's not chunky. You don't hear the mechanisms when you hit the keys, but you hear the slap. Of the type.
Authoritative slap of the hammer.
Yeah, and it's like 10 times louder than the bell. So the bell is silent super.
Yeah.
But the keys are like, man, it's real snappy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop.
If you're watching, like, Will, if you don't have a typewriter, dude, you should totally get one. It's a lot of fun. Adam, D, you guys should totally have a typewriter.
It's a blast, man.
Yeah, there is something really cool and kind of special about it. It's anybody watching on Instagram, if you guys are writers out there, it does do you well to see what it's like to write on a typewriter, because you will find that it will change your voice. You get into it more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you like the mechanical sound. David Sedaris always talked about that. You know, it's pretty neat, man. It's cool. It's worth trying.
Yeah.
So,
and if you are wondering why should I get a typewriter, maybe you should watch the documentary.
Yeah,
California Typewriter, great documentary about the reemergence or the renaissance of typewriters.
There is a renaissance of typewriter culture going on right now, and you know, we're like, I've been doing the typewriter thing for probably 20 years now, to be honest with you. Nick, if not farther, Nick has been doing it for a couple years.
Yeah, 2 years
and a half
at the most. 2 years at the most.
And so, we're in a way we're kind of like typewriter hipster culture,
I guess.
you know,
and we're Gen Xers and we're totally into typewriters.
But the thing that we're grateful for, what I think probably saves us from being hipsters, is we're grateful for the typewriter documentary.
Absolutely.
Because the problem you have with being into typewriters is there's a lack of infrastructure. I mean, if something goes wrong with your typewriter, man, good luck. Good luck finding somebody. You're probably FedExing it to somebody out of state.
Yep.
To try and get it fixed.
Yep.
You know, so the reemergence, the renaissance of typewriter culture is great. I mean, it's like a man in the oasis, or a man in the desert finding an oasis, because it's like, man, all of a sudden now there are all these people working on typewriters. There are all these people selling typewriters. Yep. So if anything goes wrong with yours, you're no longer stuck shipping it off to wherever, to Timbuktu to get it fixed.
Yeah, and that's why if you want to get plugged into a really great typewriter community and find people who do repairs, people who write on typewriters, poets, novelists, typewriter salespeople, repair shops. There is an entire community on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
of just people that really know their stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you, Instagram. I'm plugging into that community, and I hope some of those people get a chance to see this. But shout out to you, because it's been a tremendous support.
Yeah. So speaking of the typewriter community, do we have someone lined up?
We do, for next month. In August 22nd, Sunday, 4:30 Central Standard Time, August 22nd, Richard Polt is going to be our guest on the Gosslings live stream. Last week we had John Bernardo talking about cancel culture. That was so fun. It was great.
Man,
Go back and watch that episode if you haven't seen it. It's so great. He's got an amazing book. And then in August, we're going to have Richard Polt. Richard Polt is he is the owner of Typewriter Revolution. Yeah. He wrote a book of the same title, Typewriter Revolution. He's in the documentary California Typewriter. And he's the one who is credited with writing the Typewriter Manifesto.
Oh, that's right, from the documentary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard Polt.
Yeah,
seems like a super cool.
Where
guy.
can people find? Can you find that documentary on Amazon Prime Video?
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. I think it's
California
free.
Typewriter.
Yeah, it's free. I believe it's free on Prime.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And just about everybody watching this, probably everybody has Amazon Prime. So you have Amazon Prime Video. It should cost you nothing to watch it. California Typewriter is really cool.
Yeah, and
it's really fun to watch.
Adrenochrome drinking Tom Hanks is also a big piece of that. Tom Hanks apparently has a typewriter collection of like over 200 typewriters.
Yeah,
he's the most.
He's big into typewriters.
He's obviously the most noteworthy advocate for the reemergence of the typewriter.
He had to pay penance for throwing that typewriter in Saving Private Ryan. You know.
Yeah, that's right. He had to leave it behind.
Yeah, Upham was like bringing all his crap, and he was like, "You don't need any of this," and he threw it all, including the field desk typewriter.
Speaking of which, you have one of those.
I do. Yeah, it's not U.S. property marked, but it only costs $60.
It's a Remington, right?
It is a Remington. Remington Model 1 field desk typewriter. I've never been able to authenticate it. It has. I talked to Kirk about it. It's not really worth fixing up. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to sanitize it, get the mildew smell out of it, and then use it as just a display piece in the classroom at work for the
there you go,
for the gun shop.
Yeah, that's great.
So I think it'll still go to good use.
Cool.
But it is cool. Yeah.
I'm so glad you're not getting rid of it.
Oh, no.
I was going to say, do not. I will buy it from you if you decide to get rid of it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, we won't let it leave.
No, never let a good typewriter go to waste.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, you want to do week in review real quick?
Let's do week in review.
Yeah. What do you have? What was going on this week, and what do you have coming up?
Good question. Last week, this past week, I have done. A lot of social media stuff, but I've also been reviewing Adam's narration of the Hoppus Chronicles.
Oh, cool!
He finished that.
Yeah.
I've started my review of that. I'm about a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
And what else? I've written a few more chapters of Easel Bancroft.
Yeah,
which is really great.
Nice.
I've been experimenting with Anchor.
What is Anchor?
Anchor is an app that you can use to create a podcast from your cell phone.
Oh, interesting.
So what I'm thinking of doing, I don't know if I'm fully committed to this, but
okay.
I'm thinking of reading each chapter of Easel Bancroft and uploading it as a free podcast episode.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I've done like the first 3, and people can listen to it. But I think I might do the whole book that way. I don't know. I'm going to finish the book. I'm going to have it all. I just want to put it out there. Yeah. It's super fun to do, and I just want to be able to share it. And I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I've been experimenting with that. It's been a lot of fun. And that's really it. What about you?
That's interesting. Worked on Sasquatchalypse a little bit, and then focused on watching Sweet Tooth, which was tough at times. But I tell you, one thing that was really cool was Delta clued me in to the guy who makes these. There's another fellow Jonathan out there. He has an Instagram channel called Skull and Bones Forge.
Okay.
All one word, Skull and Bones Forge. And he makes these, which are barbecue tools. Basically just like little meat hooks for your ribs or your steak.
Is that to
or whatever.
Hook the pineal gland of a hybrid out and
rip
it from the skull?
I showed this to Nick, and that was the first thing that he said. Was like, this looks like
my horns went.
This is something you'd shove right up there to get that pineal gland and just hook it and yank right out of there, you know?
It'll save us from COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
COVID stick.
So, Skull and Bones Forge, he makes a bunch of stuff. He makes war hammers, he makes knives, swords, but he made these, Delta sent me the link of these cool barbecue tools. And so I immediately got on there and messaged Jonathan, and it was like, dude, this is really cool. This is the Skull Cube barbecue tool.
Man, that's awesome.
So I want to try and get it so that you can get it in like a swirl pattern. This is the most expensive one. I think to have this shipped to my house is like $85. But it's pretty cool, man. Like, it's pretty neat.
Dude, that's
wicked.
wicked. That's wicked, man.
He's got so he's all on Instagram. Skull and Bones Forge. He's all on Instagram. He makes these. He makes a bunch of others.
At Skull and Bones.
At Skull and Bones Forge, all one word. So if you just look up Skull and Bones Forge, all one word. Yep. Skull and Bones Forge. Yep. And you should be able to find him on there. He had, I want to say he had left a comment or.
That's awesome.
You might be able to find him. We follow each other. So if you're on Instagram, if you go to author J Goss, if you can't find him on your own, go to author J Goss. He's in my friends list, my followers or whatever. So
I'm gonna follow him.
He's pretty cool. He's out of Raleigh, North Carolina, I believe. So he makes a bunch of cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to. I told him like if they ever make like a movie or a miniseries out of the Heavenly Realm stuff, like
he can make some cool.
I'm
stuff.
totally gonna have him make props.
Oh,
He's got to make all the props.
Yeah,
so.
cool.
In fact, this is still available on tarsnecros.com. So this is, I think, $30 or $40, one of the two, but this is the special edition of the first book, Empyrean
Fallen. In the series.
Yeah. It's in hardcover, has a map on the back, and it has over 200 pages of extra material. So if you're looking to get into the Heavenly Realms series, and you want like the special edition, this is worth the money. The Taurus Necros guys worked really hard to make this happen, so I'm really grateful. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
But
love it.
But yeah, I've been working a little bit on Sasquatchalypse, and I was really excited about this, and then making my way through the Sweet Tooth world today. It takes everything you got.
Awesome.
So,
awesome. Well, we finished. We don't have to suffer anymore.
Yeah.
Until next season, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Might not have to. We might be living season 2.
We might be living
Before it's all
we might
over.
be living season 1. We've already lived through half of season 1 with the pandemic.
That's right.
You know.
Yep.
But
Delta variant
special
coming,
thank
baby.
you to Dee Burrell, Jessica Love, Will Piercy.
Yeah. Thank you
And
guys.
thank you guys for watching. Anyone else who, if you're not watching this live, if you catch this on the replay,
Yeah.
man, we'd love for you to subscribe. We'd love to catch up with you. Join the chat.
Yeah.
It's the 4th of July, so we didn't really expect a really lively chat. Most people are out shooting fireworks off with their families, as they should be.
Grilling and enjoying this celebration of our nation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which we're going to
Praise.
do next after we get done here. We're going to scarf down some food, and we're going to go blow some stuff up. I got some fireworks in my car. It's going to be huge.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't have to travel to like a big fireworks show downtown. We're not doing that. We got it all going on right here in the cul-de-sac, and here at the Tiki Niki. It's gonna be
Tiki Niki,
we're gonna
suburban
get lit.
life.
It's gonna be lit.
I will say, like, it will literally be lit.
Yeah, lit.
Yeah. I feel like not having Adam present for the live stream is like going into battle with one boot off.
It's true. Yeah.
Like, I'm so grateful we had D.
Yeah.
D, just let Adam know, like, he was missed. You know,
big time.
We always like, it never feels like a total Goslings live stream without both of the Burls.
Yep.
We gotta have D. We
Gotta
gotta
be
have
double
Adam.
Burl.
You know, yeah.
Yep.
Andy, if he's ever watching, which, whatever, I'm still mad at you, Andy, for not like hanging out with us on a Sunday.
He does a big 4th of July thing.
That's right. He's probably super busy
he's
right
got
now.
people jumping in his pool.
All right, I'll let you
He's
slide
cooking.
this one time, cousin.
Yeah.
This one time. But by
Cousin
God,
Andy Goss.
I'm gonna shove some Leaf Garrett down your throat. All right, cool.
Awesome, man.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. We enjoyed having you guys on here. We're so glad that you were able to join us. This was a lot of fun. Will and Jessica, so cool having you guys here.
Thank you,
John,
guys.
I'm pretty sure you
So
guys
glad
are
you
watching. Hope you'll be here next week, all you guys.
Yep.
And then
Special thanks to Blurry Creatures too.
Yeah, Blurry Creatures.
For an amazing podcast, the great shirt.
Yeah, we got big shout out to Blurry Creatures. Blurry Creatures is pretty cool, man. They kind of have it dialed in. They're kind of doing, in a way, they're doing what we aspire to do.
Oh, 100%. Oh, they're like in the top 40 or 50 podcasts.
Yeah, they're pretty
on
awesome.
Spotify, like overall.
Yeah.
Like they're huge.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
huge,
And then if you like my Ungrateful Colonials t-shirt, you can get it at usakilts.com. I usually post the links for all that. All of my Heavenly Realms books are available on Amazon, Goodreads, and Audible.
Yep.
Nick's books are available on Amazon as well.
Yep. I write books for kids, middle grade, fiction.
Yeah.
I have a whole fantasy series called The Travelers League. It's on Amazon as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you can find me at Nick Goss Writes. Of course, the people on Instagram know that if they're watching this right now, which I'm so grateful if you're watching. Thank you for joining.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
Yep. I think so. I'm mad at Nina for not commenting because we went 2 weeks and then she dropped the ball. So I look forward to yelling at her.
She'll come back. It's a holiday.
Whatever.
It's a holiday.
Whatever. She's from south of the border. She doesn't celebrate our American holidays. She's
gonna go back and watch this like those mother.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch that. Like
yeah, good. Bring it, Nina. Yeah, I look forward
She's
to
awesome.
your hippie anger. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a happy 4th of July. Be
Happy
safe.
4th.
Shoot some guns. Blow up some fireworks. Eat some hot dogs and hamburgers. Celebrate our great country. It's the best place on the planet to live. Best place on the realm to live.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I'm Jonathan.
I'm Nick.
We are the Gosslings.